Warm greetings from Creative Hub, Tallinn, Estonia. This is the 8th webinar organized by Education Nation, which is an Estonian initiative to share our educational knowledge and experience with the world. Estonia has the top education results, #1 in PISA in Europe, and is known for its e-services. We aim to share that experience with the world. Every Thursday, we host free online webinar to offer support for all those affected by the current COVID-19 coronavirus crisis and, as a result, switching to online education. This Thursday, May 21st, Estonian Initiative Education Nation hosts a free remote learning webinar on how the Estonian education system has raised students that rank first in PISA financial literacy test and shares its best practices with the world. This webinar is the last webinar in this aspiring. PISA assessments ranks Estonian students as the world's most financially literate. The average score in PISA 2018 assessments for Estonia was 547, which is significantly higher than the OECD average of 505. During the webinar, we share the PISA results, different programs and activities that are practiced in Estonian schools and that have given the good results, and what other countries can do to get the results. We will also hear students' side of how financial literacy is taught in Estonia and how it's integrated with different classes. Also, we introduce the edtech of PISA Play to show how through emotionally engaging games, valuable entrepreneurship skills can be taught. For more information about the webinar and Education Nation, go to Facebook and find our page, Education Nation, and a group named Remote Learning, Education Nation. For opening speech, we have with us today the Estonian Minister of Education and Research, Mrs. Mailis Reps, who will give the opening speech. Mailis Reps is the Minister of Education and Research of the Republic of Estonia since November 2016. She has held the same position also in 2002 to 2003 and 2005 to 2007. Hello, Minister Reps.
Hello. Very, very good to hear from you.
How have you and your family adjusted to distance learning in these past months?
Well, myself, it has been, of course, difficult because I've been all the time in the middle of the crisis management through our governmental meetings. But personally, a mother of 6, I will tell, I share the feeling. It has been very, very difficult to manage all the studies, to work next to it, and to deal also with, let's say, emotional issues.
Thank you, Minister, to join us today. We're looking forward to your speech. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, dear viewers. I'm really delighted to open today's Estonian Nation webinar on how Estonian students have achieved such exceptional results in PISA test and most notably in the latest PISA financial literacy assessment. First, Estonian students' success in PISA test is, of course, a continuous effort and a result of hardworking teachers and students. In general, Estonians believe in education. We understand something that no one can take away from us. It is an education. And furthermore, we know that it helps us to achieve prosperous future of self-fulfillment, be it in the field of research, career choices, furthering entrepreneurship. And after all, money cannot buy happiness, but wisdom might. Today, we are all happy to share Estonia's experience in achieving high quality and what is also very important, equal and equitable educational system. Other speakers will go in depth, of course, but I will like to highlight a few underlying principles. First of all, Estonians are a very tech-savvy nation. We create and use smart digital solutions. Our education is learner-centered, and lifelong learning is a lifestyle. And not to mention that quality of education is free of charge in Estonia. This gives equal opportunities regardless of a student's economic and social background. Moreover, our schools enjoy very high degree of autonomy, from curricular development, the choice of materials, organizational aspects, details of daily school life. And also, you may wonder why education has been valued through the generations, and we have an innovation like startup mindset where our digital society is e-solutions are the essential part of everyday's life, and this is how we function. And even more so, if we're looking, our education is very, very future oriented. We have a free digital learning materials, meaning every textbook and the teaching material is also digitally provided. We have e-assessment, we have e-diaries, e-platforms to make learning and teaching easy. And most important, we believe that the digital opportunities give also variety of students a better access to education because we can get more talented, better materials, and the kids who need support also get differently built up digital materials. And all these aspects have helped Estonia to achieve top ranking in international tests and, of course, comparisons. And I cannot stress this enough that we do not train specifically for these issues. The digital is just part of the whole system. Nevertheless, we are extremely happy and we are proud that our latest results in PISA financial literacy assessment has brought us the world top. And we are also hopefully already aware Estonian students rank the world's most financial literacy, like the numbers already were mentioned. Also, let's look into the 15 years olds results. 95% of our 15 years olds have at least basic knowledge of money matters. 95%. And that also means that if we're looking at our top performing students, the skills levels in financial literacy have improved significantly over last years. Over the last 6 years. And that also means that the results show that our young people have a good fundamental knowledge of monetary affairs. For example, what is students are highly independent when it comes to organizing their finances. 87% decide themselves on how they spend their money, or 82% take responsibility for their own money choices, and 75% have a personal bank card. What does it do? The national economy and everyone's sustainable well-being will largely depend on financial decisions of today's young people. And that also means that smart financial decisions are made if the respective skills and knowledge is there. And for us, it is important to support our students' initiatives. For example, establishing students' companies. It's very, very popular. Already young pupils having their own entrepreneurship skills developed by making their own companies. And many of them are actually getting funding to even take these products into the real life. And I'm also delighted that our 15 years olds are very, very bright. And I'm very thankful to those who have all supported them, the parents, the families, the teachers, the entrepreneurs, all different private sector initiatives, programs which have come around. And after all, being financially literate provides better decisions in the future, which makes it one of the most important skills and competencies in today's modern world. And I am very hopeful that this webinar will be an eye-opener for many, and it will offer ideas and solutions that inspire everyone to design a better education for the future in a way that there could be a more education nations. And I wish you an interesting, fruitful webinar. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Minister Reps. We're so happy for you to joining us today. Before we let you go, maybe just in one sentence for all of those watching us around the world who would like to get inspired by the success story of Estonia and our education nation, what would be the main focus for other countries and teachers, or perhaps ministers around the world to see us today, to think, to start, to do in order to do better in this field?
Now, first and foremost, it is that the practical examples related to everyday's life need to be interdisciplinary in different subjects, starting from math to the societal history, But let's be also on a more hobby, like interest related subjects, which are extracurricular activities. So only if these questions like financial responsibility, understanding your own entrepreneurship, risk taking, but also understanding the basic skills of that are in different fields covered and different aspects covered, only then the students have it as a part of their life. So it's not only one subject what you need to do, is the whole interdisciplinary and very practical approach you have to take.
Thank you so much, Minister Reps. Thanks for joining us today, and thank you for your work and your leadership.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now let's meet our today's speakers. We have a total of 5 joining us live today. Kunda Taire.
Hello.
Hello. Kunda is PISA National Project Manager in Estonia. Then Kristi Ploom, Entrepreneurship Education Program Manager, Estonian Ministry of Education and Research. Hello, Kristi.
Hello.
Liisi Kirch, Financial Literacy Coordinator, Estonian Ministry of Finance, Estonian representative in OECD and in FIE. Hello, Liisi.
Hello.
And Sara-Mia Haabma, 9th grade student, Tallinn 21st School. Hello, Sara.
Hi.
And Mehis Pärn, founder and CEO of Bizplay. Hi.
Hello.
Each speaker will have time of their own presentation, after which we will have our Q&A session. In addition to our 5 speakers today, we encourage you and your participation as well for all of those who are watching us around the globe. In order to ask your question, please just comment on the live stream, either on Education Nation YouTube channel or Facebook Live. Now let's move on to today's webinar topic. Estonian students rank first in PISA financial literacy test. How did we do it? For more information about the webinar and Education Nation, also go to the Facebook and find our page Education Nation and the group named Remote Learning Education Nation. The first speaker, Kunda, who is the PISA National Project Manager in Estonia and works at Foundation Innova, she will introduce the PISA results. Kunda, before you start, was it a tight race to be number 1 in the PISA financial literacy test? Or what in the world, if people for us who are watching, this actually means globally?
That's a very good question. I think the toughest race is always when you run against yourself, not against other people. So I think it was a very peaceful race for the Estonian students, and we are very happy to see the results now. But it wasn't tough.
All right, thank you, and we're looking forward to your presentation, please.
Okay, so I will take a look at in more detail what is financial literacy and how did we get to these results. When we test students, we usually do 2 things. We ask them to solve all kinds of items about financial matters. And then we also ask them a background questionnaire where we find out what are their habits of using financial matters, if they are active or active users of financial instruments, and what they think about it and where do they learn about it from. So, and if we look at the lead table, this is what usually people talk about. But if we run against ourselves, as I said before, then in 2012, it was the first time when Estonia participated in financial literacy test. And then we were 18 points lower than it is today. And I think this has been a very good advancement. And we are the only country who has made such a progress since 2012 in financial literacy. Yeah, and you can see if your country participated, there were 20 countries in this list, and if in the big PISA there are 79 countries, so this was a little bit easier, so to say. If we look at the main data, As it was already mentioned, 95% of students have mastered the basic levels. They can solve most of the financial literacy tasks. However, this is the same. We had the same number in 2012 as well. What has increased is that we have more top performers. We had 7% less in 2012. So that has the fact that the students have advanced towards and can solve more complicated tasks. That's good news. Estonian education system is known for its equity. That means all students, regardless of their family background, they can get very good education. And Estonia stands out also for the fact that students from advantaged or richer families and students from disadvantaged families, the gap is not that big as it is in most countries. We don't have difference between boys and girls. They do perform similarly. And interestingly also that we do not have difference between rural and urban students. So students in the countryside can solve financial literacy tasks as well as students in the cities, and that's also quite unique. But if we look at the other side, what students, how active they are, we can say that Estonian society is reflected in the numbers that we can see here. And we are in sort of the cash-free society, and we can see that 75% of students have the bank cards. And this has been a 46% increase since 2012, and that is among the largest participating countries. So only in Finland, the number of students who hold cards, payment cards, is bigger than in Estonia. 75% of students say that they buy things by themselves or with their family members online, and that's probably the number during this COVID crisis has increased. Half of the students say that they have work experience, so they know how to make money in some ways. And the final point I put here is very Estonian one. So we have one spot where we're the lowest. So Estonian students don't enjoy talking about money as much as other students in other countries. So only half of the students say that they like to talk about money. Then the next question is, where do students get to know about financial literacy? And it's a good source to know that it mostly comes from the family. So 95% of students say that family is where I learn most, then internet, and then comes school. If we look at school subjects and we can see where they learn about financial literacy, then the biggest correlation is with mathematics and reading. So it is students who learn about financial literacy from math and reading and other subjects in school, they score the highest. So we should not underestimate the need to learn math and so on. And of course, then there are extracurricular activities and guest speakers and events. But as I said, the highest scores are for those students who have learned integrated in other subjects about that topic. And to have a quick slide, what is it we could take away from this is that the knowledge that students who have experience with the financial products, who are more active, they do better in financial literacy test. Students who are confident and feel responsible for their own money, they check, they compare prices and all of that, they also perform better. But then there is one thing that we do have the good knowledge, but it doesn't automatically mean that all the students will have financially literate, responsible behavior. And so that's something that we should pay attention and work with in the future. So that would be a quick overview from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Gunda. Dear viewers, if you have any questions for Gunda or any of the other speakers today, please head over to Education Nation YouTube channel or Facebook Live and post your question in the comments section there. Now we move on to Kristi Ploom, who is managing the entrepreneurship education program in the Estonian Ministry of Education and Research. Her presentation will introduce the programs and activities that are done in Estonian schools to educate students on financial literacy. Kristi is responsible for designing and monitoring the program and leading the collaboration between the ministry and all stakeholders in the area. She represents the ministry on the topic of entrepreneurship education when legislative acts, programs and measures are proposed and led by other ministries in Estonia. Kristi, was moving financial literacy education online a difficult challenge or something that would have happened sooner or later anyway?
Hello. I think it would have happened sooner or later anyway, but because we already had many e-materials, like Minister Reps already said.
We are happy for you to joining us today and looking forward to your presentation. Please.
First, in my presentation, I will shortly introduce the Entrepreneurship Education Program and its main results, and then also the methodology will be discussed, where you can see that financial literacy is an important part of entrepreneurship education at all education levels in Estonia. And finally, I will also introduce our activities in entrepreneurship education program. We started with the program in 2016, and the most important for us has been collaboration with all strategic stakeholders, ministers, educators, researchers, junior achievement, business organizations, county development centers that support business development in all 15 counties in Estonia. So far, we have reached to half of all schools in Estonia, and the goal is to reach to all schools by 2023. The balanced regional development is also an important goal for us. As you can see, the schools that have participated in our activities can be found all over the country. So, what have we learned? I see that it's very important to collaborate with all stakeholders and take into account the partners' motives has been a great challenge for us. At the beginning, we did not understand each other very well. We did define the same things differently. For example, what is entrepreneurship education for? Is it needed for everybody or just for people willing to start a business? We agreed to use the first definition, but this was not an easy agreement. Some of our partners felt at the beginning that they are competitors, and we needed to find a common ground where the corporate goals were the priority, but also every partner's individual goals were supported. We have developed the methodology for entrepreneurship education that fits with the Estonian education system, and it's quite similar to Entrecomp European model. All the study materials, courses for students from different levels of education, trainings to teachers are based on this model. As you can see, financial literacy is an important part of teaching entrepreneurship. And I would like to add that entrepreneurship education is a good methodology to learn finances in a practical way, through making a budget, managing resources, and measuring profit. We started with program activities in 2016, and the PISA test was done in 2018 and showed that the results of Estonian students are much better than in 2012. I believe that entrepreneurship education plays an important role in this growth. For us, it is very important to support and train teachers. The results of PISA test showed that our students learn about finances in different subjects, much more than students in other countries. This is also affected by our activities as we train teachers on how to teach entrepreneurship in a practical way as a separate course, and also how to integrate it into all other subjects. But it's not so easy to motivate teachers to teach and students to learn. Entrepreneurship is rather a voluntary subject in our curriculums. We are happy to see that based on PISA test, 65% of our students want to get an entrepreneur, but our teachers and school leaders are rather uncertain. That is why it is important to tell stories, share good practice, and show to the students, parents, teachers, and school leaders that entrepreneurship skills are needed not only to be an entrepreneur, but also to be successful in work life, and why not, to manage the family budget and plan and organize home improvement. Our best and most successful business leaders also support us because they see that young people in school are going to be soon their partners, workers, and why not, competitors. There are videos on all competencies of entrepreneurship education competence model made with our business leaders, where they explain why different competencies are important in their life to be successful in work life and business. For example, Martin Willig, known worldwide from Bolt, is talking about teamwork. Kristel Kruustük from Tesla is telling about personal initiative. And of course, it is important to recognize good practices. Our best teachers, trainers, partners, and students. Estonian student companies have always kept a good position at the Junior Achievement European competition. On the picture in the center, we can see the winners of European competition from 2017, the Fester team, which is now already a successful company, Wristbox. To the teachers who passed through our 6-month training course to get an entrepreneurship education teacher, we have made the thank you letters, which are signed by 3 ministers: Minister of Education, Minister of Finance, and Minister of Economy. So the teachers can feel and show their colleagues that they are doing something really important to support the development of our country, our well-being, our students' future career. On this picture, you can see our enthusiastic, inspired entrepreneurship teachers. And thank you for your interest. And if you have maybe more specific questions to discuss, you can also contact me by email.
What a fantastic picture for the end of the presentation to sum it up of what you spoke. Thank you, Kristi, so much. For more information about the webinar Education Nation, go to Facebook and find our page Education Nation and the group named Remote Learning Education Nation. Our third speaker is Liisi Kirch, who is a financial literacy coordinator in the Estonian Ministry of Finance. She's also Estonian representative in OECD ENFE, International Network of Finance Education, as we know, and Technical Committee. Liisi will introduce overall what can be done to raise the level of financial literacy that other countries could follow as well. She knows well the Estonian education system as a previous teacher and by working together with education specialists at every level. Liisi also has some insight what Estonia has done differently, and she's looking forward to sharing some practical insights with all of you. But first, is there one simple and best way to learn financial literacy, or is combination of mediums and methods the way to go, Liisi? Liisi, your microphone I think is switched off, so maybe you can switch the microphone on. Do you hear me? Hello? Okay, I think Liisi will be back with us in a moment. In the meanwhile, we move on to Sara. Sara, are you ready to do your presentation?
Yeah.
Sara is a 9th grade student at Tallinn 21st School, and she will give the students' perspective of financial literacy teaching in Estonia. At Tallinn 21st School, there are topics of financial literature and entrepreneurship in the school program in both primary and basic school. Before you start, Sara, I would like to ask, do you remember how old you were when you first started learning about financial literacy?
Yeah, sure, I remember. I was 11, 12-year-old when specific financial study started, and in my opinion, it was just the right time for that.
Would you have liked to start sooner, or is that the average good for everyone? What's your idea?
I think 11, 12-year-olds are good for that program.
All right, we're looking forward to your presentation. Please, the floor is yours.
So let's start. As a well-known American entertainer said, try to save something while your salary is small. It's impossible to save after you begin to earn more. That's the same thought that our teachers and mentors are trying to make clear for us. We start from primary school to study financial knowledge. Today, I would like to talk about the same awareness of the use of money and knowledge about the economy itself. We are going to talk about my journey from primary classes and until now. In Tallinn 21st School, we have excellent opportunity to study financial education from 5th grade. Junior Achievement offers a perfectly suitable education program for 5th graders. And being young and restless, it's hard to teach and study. But for us, Junior Achievement offered a perfect mini-company program. The mini-company program's build-up was quite simple. Beginning of the program was playful, and each student of the class had an opportunity to take a word. That way was learning more effective and pleasant for us. Even the creation of mini company was enjoyable, and everyone had a chance to share their thoughts. Suddenly, we created with 5 other girls a company which had no name, but our main sentence was a cup of help and lemonade. The program was pretty creative, but the practical part was instructive and taught us the value of money. Moving on to in 9th grade, 8th grade, we went for a specific. Teachers brought in accounting, and we had to start with initial capital. Now on, we wrote down every outgo, starting with stickers on the package and the product itself. With 2 other girls, we created now successful mini company called the Klõpits. In our company, I am a marketing manager, but in mini company project, we all had opportunity to test all the jobs, and we thought about net cost and selling price proportions. Just because this journey, there were helpers from school, our families, and out of school experts, we had opportunity to study from different people. For now, our firm profit crosses €300 line. Besides the theory of economy, we had changed to be creative and design our logo, packaging, and even product itself. Mini company club itself produces cup holders. Our cup holders work as closed clips and allow you to put your drink, cup, or a bottle wherever. For now, our way here has been incredibly successful. We have sold our cup holders all around Estonia, and we have earned the Mini Company 2019 title and received positive feedback from clients. I have a short clip from competition day where we had to pass customers round and judges round, and most important, auditorium presentation round.
Palju õnne! Te olete jõudnud siia 12 parima Eesti minifirma hulka.
Nii et täna nautige tänast päeva, õppige ja katsetage. Aitäh teile!
And besides being in a mini company program in Estonia, we study financial knowledge all over the school year. In the primary classes, we started with money addition and subtraction. And now we already calculate the sale percents. And in social studies, we have talked about net profit and gross salary. And even in home economics, we usually need to share our food ingredients prices equally. In Estonia, we have specific financial studies and kind of like a natural study. And thanks to our mentors and teachers, we have aimed these high PISA test results. And in my opinion, we have excellent knowledge of money use. And because of that, we are more foresighted. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. For more information about the webinar on Education Nation, go to Facebook and find our page, Education Nation, and a group named Remote Learning, Education Nation. Our next speaker, Liisi Kirch. Liisi, are you with us?
Yes, I am. And I'm pretty sure you can...
Yes.
You can hear me now.
We hear you very well,
Great.
And we are happy you are with us. Liisi is a financial literacy coordinator in the Estonian Ministry of Finances. And before you start, Liisi, I wanted to ask from you, is there one simple and best way to learn financial literacy, or is it a combination of mediums and methods the way to go?
Thank you for the question. I think it's definitely the combination way because how you can learn financial literacy. This is a very complex topic and has so many different sides. So definitely you have to combine.
We're looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you. I'm happy to greet you all on behalf of Ministry of Finance, where I work as a financial literacy coordinator. And today I'm going to share with you how we have developed and implemented financial literacy here in Estonia. Why financial education is so crucial even nowadays is not only for young people, but for all the adults as well. I think you already paid attention when the minister previously told us that we also, as a parents, we need to teach our children how to manage money. And it's not only school that will give you the knowledge, but also you have to have some kind of experience. And where is the best way to get it is from home, when we can let our children learn from us. Financial literacy is so important because our nation is getting older every day, and we have to make sure that our tomorrow's leaders, they can rule the country and they can make financially sound decisions. Now, when I'm moving on, we have the core of financial literacy. How it's been implemented in Estonia is the strategy program. This is made in 2012, and it is valid until the end of this year, but we are already working about a new program. The best and the biggest advantage we have is that we have so many partners. Ministry of Education or Ministry of Finance couldn't do this on our own, but we have to have a lot of not only public sector partners, but also private sector organizations supporting us. And here you can see some of the logos. Most of them are in Estonian, but just very briefly, there are Estonian Banking Association. They are the biggest banks who are organizing some of the events on their own. There are Nasdaq Stock Exchange. You can see Financial Supervisory Authorities logo. Bank of Estonia is on board with us. They are investment clubs, and they are also junior achievement. And not to mention that the Ministry of Education and Research has been our best partner in all of these years. Why is it so important to have these partners? As a small nation, we must support our ideas and our decisions, and together we can reach a lot more wider audience than just on our own. And here I would like to point out some of the things we have done, and also who are those partners who have supported us. I start with the Financial Supervisory Authority. They have run for several years already a website called minuraha.ee, that means mymoney.ee, and has all the information you need to be financially literate. How to make a budget, how to invest, what to do with my pension system, and how to make sure I am not being a victim of a fraud. Together with Bank of Estonia, Financial Supervisory Authority have organized lots of seminars, family days together with Bank of Estonia Museum. Our main partner also have been Estonian Banking Association, and they have supported us by organizing the Money Month in every year in March. And it's already been done for 7 years. And the main target group among this strategy program has been young people, including students in our schools. Some of the things we have done is, some of the things we have done is, together with partners, every county's library now has financial literacy books. And those books are actually not any of the partners these are published by persons who are just very enthusiastic about financial literacy. Jaak Roosaare, Riin Tutelberg, and Mihkel Truumann. And here you can also see Junior Achievement Economics book for the gymnasium, for the high school students. That is also a very good source for learning how to become financially literate. Those books also have materials ready to be prepared and shared with all the teachers to make teaching financial literacy very practical and very easy for teachers. What else have we done together with Banking Association? We have made 12 e-classes. That means these are classes you can just put on from YouTube, and the videos last for 20 minutes, and experts from the field of finance, they are talking about their own experience, how to become an investor, what it means to save money, and where are the small steps I can already take today. And those lessons, they are not just videos, they also have the lesson plan. So the teacher will just have to put on the video, take the lesson plan, and it's already done from him or for her. And the next thing we have done is being there for the teachers, because financial literacy is sometimes hard to teach if you don't believe in it. Financial literacy has this knowledge aspect, but also a behavior one. And if you don't believe you are good with managing your own money, it's very hard to teach children how they're supposed to do it. And what we have done is we have seminars twice a year held by Bank of Estonia in cooperation with Financial Supervisory Authority. We have 6-month courses for entrepreneurship teachers. I think already Kristi mentioned it. We have e-courses available for teachers. And what's more, there are lots of experts from financial sector, mainly our partners as well, who are being there in the schools and giving lessons online, and also in physically being there in a class. And these lessons, they are not just for the money month, but whole the year around. Teachers can ask the experts to come and have one class, so those children can see a live example. It's not, financial literacy is not just something taught by the teachers, but it's a real thing, and people are really using this knowledge they have learned. What more are we going to do starting from the next study year is mentoring clubs for the teachers. And mentoring clubs, it means the teachers group can come together 6 times a year to learn about financial literacy, to share experiences, and also to think about what is this exercise I can use to pass this knowledge I have learned here. And also experts for the financial sector, they are also promised that they are going to participate there in the mentoring clubs. And this is it from my side. I'm really grateful you have asked me to be here, and I'm looking forward to the questions.
Thank you, Liisi, for sharing. Dear viewers, if you have any questions for Liisi or any other speakers today, please head over to Education Nation YouTube channel or Facebook Live and post your question in the comment section there. Our next speaker today is Mehis Pärn, the founder and CEO of BizPlay. He will speak how through emotionally engaging games, valuable entrepreneurship skills can be taught. Mehis believes that playing is natural and one of the most powerful ways of learning. Creativity and entrepreneurial mindset are key requirements if you want to have a great career in the 21st century. Mehis, with more and more games nowadays being played digitally and online, has BizPlay felt the effect of the COVID crisis?
Yeah, sure. Because as face-to-face meetings and in our case, our games were out of question for a while, then yes, our daily activities got affected. But on the positive side, it also showed our one really good potential, high potential digital product line we are currently testing. So I hope that in the long run, it will rather be plus than a minus for us.
All right, we're looking forward to your presentation. Please go ahead.
Okay, hello. In Display, we teach entrepreneurship using games. So it was a pretty nice surprise for us about these PISA test results, telling that our youngsters actually have pretty good knowledge on finances. Our approach in this topic has always been that that practice makes perfect. We mean that besides knowledge, you should also have an experience, because experiences create skills out of knowledge and also helps to form habits. Our methodology is a role play, which is an old-fashioned way face-to-face game where players simulate realistic situations. They face different challenges. They need to solve problems using their knowledge and creativity. Those games, or in our case, we like to call them, are not just fun and random action. It's rather a guided game, meaning that all the challenges in these games are specially designed and the whole process is facilitated. Our programs are targeted mostly from 7 to 15-year-olds, and we cover topics like how to manage your own money, how to do a family budget, and also how to run your own small business. But as proper Estonians, Estonians, as you know, are a digital nation. Besides face-to-face game, we also need to have an app, which makes the whole experience like digitally assisted, meaning that players use the app during the game. They form teams there. They simulate the internet bank and also get the tasks and challenges there. The same app is used by the facilitator who guides the game and who gets back some analytics from the game. Now, when a teacher wants to run a role play in the school, besides the app, they will get from us also a game set, which contains physical materials and also instructions to teachers how to organize at their own school role play in a organized manner. For those schools who are maybe not ready yet to do that, we have also an alternative. To visit one of our enterprise villages located in a larger city, either Tallinn or Tartu, where games are led by our trained instructors. Also, in Enterprise Village, the game takes place in a specially designed environment, which tends to be or will be like the most as realistic as possible. So the goal is to give like an extra emotional kick to this playing or gaming experience. So if I take it all together, we are strongly believe that the knowledge without the practice is only a halfway. And our main goal with those games are to create connections between pieces of knowledge in the player's head, and also create links with a real life. Because especially in case of kids, because of their age, they don't have their own experience yet. And we want to do this as the most fun and engaging way as possible. Because as we know, if emotions are involved, then new gained knowledge is remembered much, much longer. So thank you very much. I'm Mehis from Display and happy playing.
Thank you, Mehis, and thank you all who were speaking with us today, for everyone who are listening around the world. Now that all of you are here on the stage, we would like to direct some questions that we have received from our listeners, our viewers. And remember, if you're still watching us online or live, you can ask a question in the comment section on YouTube or Facebook Live. First, Kunda, an audience member, asks, why had the mean reading for mathematics and science performance continue to decline in Finland and increase in Estonia?
Well, I think this is not the right place for me to start analyzing Finnish results, but in overall, what has happened in Finland and Estonia differently is that Estonia really pays attention to the students who have the smallest or who have the weak, the lowest knowledge, and for the share for Finnish students has increased there. So that's a basic difference. But Finland still has a very good education system, and we are happy about that.
Mehis, what languages is Bisbelay currently available in?
Currently, we are available in Estonian and in English, and we haven't made a proper plan or a precise plan on the next languages. But I can say that we work with our potential partners. We find traction in different countries. And I can say that our next really interesting partners we are currently working with are from Japan and Hong Kong. So maybe the Japanese and Chinese might be next.
Very interesting. Any further plans for the future?
So, yeah, we are currently looking for different partnerships in different countries because we know that our games and methodology needs some adjustments from country to country, from culture to culture. So everybody who are interested in our methods, let us know. We have methods how to bring these games into your own schools, or either also establish those enterprise villages in your own region.
Sarah, do you agree that students learn better through play?
Yeah, sure. I have learned that by myself, so I can say that's a good way to learn.
Any concrete examples or any positive experiences that you would like to share?
Yeah, actually, junior achievement do these kind of Monopoly games in real life, and even our 12th and 11th grade are playing that kind of game.
Kristi, maybe this is for you. Estonia seems to be doing very well in the terms of financial literacy. Does that mean job well done, or is there still room for improvements?
Yes, I believe there is a lot of room for improvement. In entrepreneurship education program, we have a goal to reach to all schools and all students so that everybody would learn finances in school in a practical way. And in addition, I believe that every university student learning to be a teacher should learn at the university how to integrate entrepreneurship competencies, including finances, to every subject.
Mm-hmm. Sarah, one more question to you. Is it still possible to buy those cup holders?
Yeah, sure. In Facebook, you can find us and contact us by an email.
Nice. Kunda, you mentioned students learning financial literacy mostly through family and the interest and less through teachers. Do you expect this trend to change in near future?
I think that it has to stay that way, that family is very important, and the main attitudes towards money comes from family, but the school is a place where to get more knowledge. So I think schools have more work to do, but the families definitely have to stay as an important role player as well.
Lizzie, final question for you. Are the books and e-classes you mentioned available in any other languages?
I'm very sorry to say that currently they are only available in Estonian, but we are about to work in Russian versions, because in Estonia there are also a lot of Russian-speaking people.
Thank you. And thank you all once again. That's all for today. Thank you to our speakers and sharing their thoughts and experience, and thank you all who have been watching us today. This was our last webinar of this spring. Thank you all once more for tuning in, and we hope to see you again in the future. For more information on what we do, you can find us on social media at Education Nation, or join our open Facebook group Remote Learning Education Nation, where you can also suggest ideas, topics, discussions. This will continue even when we close this tour this spring. We hope the sessions have been inspiring for you. Of course, you can watch all of the webinars in the past weeks in the internet. You can find them from our channel, and we hope this will inspire you, your country, your teachers, or your students, or everyone to do better in life. We are happy to be part of Education Nation, and we will be happy if you will join to be part of Education Nation. Thank you once again. Take care.